Welcome to Beards, Biceps, Beliefs, and Sometimes Bourbon, where you will hear all about how to remove the roadblocks in your life so you can achieve the success you want in your career, business, fitness, and relationships. And also, my favorite bourbon tastings. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beards, Biceps, Beliefs, and Bourbon Tastings. I'm Scott Romjin, and let's talk about overthinking today. So, does your mind race out of control when you think about your daily list to do, your work project, a trip to plan? Do you often feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of tasks that are required to get all those things done? Do you get caught up in all the little details instead of starting with the big things and nothing ever happens? You never move those things forward? It's okay. A lot of people do. Me as well. So overthinking can cause a phrase you've probably heard of before, paralysis by analysis. You overanalyze anything. So we spend too much time thinking, planning, analyzing, thinking some more, and then never actually taking any action to get started. This causes us so much stress, anxiety, depression. It makes us feel like we're a failure. We're not mentally strong enough to overcome our fears and just go for it. Just do something, right? Everything we do starts with the first step, the first thing. And then so on until all the steps or processes add up to equal an accomplishment or something done. We got the project started, okay? Where you are today will not be where you are from a year from now if you just start today, right? A year from now, I can promise you that I'd hear this from you. It's like if I'd only started a year ago when I started talking about this. I hear it all the time. Should put it in quotes, right? Whether it's fitness or eating better or something you've always wanted to do, just start. Sometimes we just think, who am I to do these things, right? But remember this phrase, every expert was once a beginner. I have it written on my whiteboard behind me because no one starts off as an expert. We just don't start doing something and becoming great at it. We suck usually in the beginning. And over time we get better. Everything takes time. Learning, practice, a whole lot of setbacks and failures. But those keep moving us forward. So whatever you are working on, it will never be completed or all done. Nothing ever is. Times change, people change, theories change, best practices change. The lens at which you look through things changes, right? Who you are. So remember that. Nothing will ever be completed, okay? You might figure out a better way to do it. So the process is never complete. You just go with what you got, keep working on it. Knowing in your head that it will always be a work in progress, ever evolving, will help you to change your mindset of the job is done. It's never done, okay? And this will help you to alleviate a lot of the stress and anxiety that you're feeling over this. The same goes for whatever you're working on. It will never be perfect. Okay, so get those ideas out of your head. It's never going to be done, and it's never going to be perfect. And be okay with that. Because it never will be. Nothing ever is. So take the word perfect out of your vocabulary, focus on the things you can change or affect, and move on. Just keep working the process. All right? Learning from mistakes or things you missed is sometimes very hard. You will say to yourself, if only I'd done this, right? We've all done that. But don't beat yourself up. This is how the best lessons are learned. It is how you get better. It's how you get on the road to becoming an expert. Your job is to keep learning, to try new ideas, to figure out how to implement them. There are going to be times when you don't know the answer or have a solution to the problem. That's okay. It's really normal. Nobody knows everything or how to deal with stuff. And there's always new things that come up that's never been experienced, right? Just keep working on what you can, and a solution will present itself. Sometimes you just need to marinate on it for a while. That's what I say when I don't know. I'm like, let me marinate on that for a minute. It might be a day or two, but you know, you get the idea. Set some goals. We work on every 90 days because that's a time frame that you can wrap your head around. It's not too far out that you can tell yourself, oh, I still got time, I'll do that later. 90 days comes really quick, okay? This prevents you from procrastinating and pushing it out. If I gave you a year, you'd wait 10 months, 11 months before you got started because you have all the time in the world, right? In this 90 days, you're gonna set some deliberate goals. These are beside your normal daily duties, things, work that you have to get done. You're gonna put some focus on a couple things to get them done in that 90 days to move yourself or your life forward. These are some actionable items, okay? You're going to break it down to what needs to happen in the first 30 days, the next 30 days, which will take you to 60, and then the final 30 days to completion. So what if you didn't get it done in the 90 days, right? You were just too busy or something came up or, you know, all the excuses. What really you need to do is evaluate why you didn't. What stood in your way? Was it you? Was it money? Was it someone else? Or should it have even been on your list at all? Was it that important or just an idea that never happened, right? Should it be removed from your next 90 days, or should it to be added onto it and you figure it out and make a commitment to get it done, right? You decide. The number one key to everything, though, is consistency. Keep working on your stuff. Keep working on you. Keep making changes. Keep figuring things out. You can do it. All right? It's gonna be tough. I know that. It's gonna be hard, but it's also gonna be very rewarding when you accomplish these things and you get to where you want to get to. All right? You got this. Just take action. All right, so on to our bourbon tasting and World of Whiskey book. In it today, it specifically talks about a different kind of whiskey, which is bourbon, which we're going to be sampling today. I should have looked this ahead of time because it's Woodford Reserve as their sample, and I should have just bought some. So bourbon, for a whiskey to be deemed bourbon, it must contain at least 51% corn in the mash bill. The remainder being made up of barley, wheat, or rye. It has to be matured in new, charred, white oak casks for a minimum of 2 years. Pretty cool. That's why what makes it be called bourbon. And our bourbon sampling today is one you'll find most often. It's called Bullet. Someone told me today, I was talking to you, the fancy version is Boulet, but I don't know if I could say that. But Bullet, that's what I call it anyways. And the good thing is for Bullet, you can find it at almost any bar you go to, even if they don't have a good selection, like a big selection. This is something that is pretty normal that you will find, and it's not too expensive. All right, take a little pour. I'm a little stuffed up today, so I don't know if I would be able to smell it. Always smells good. Always tastes good too, okay? It's never disappointed me. So, cheers. Thanks for watching this episode of Beards, Biceps, Belief, and Bourbon. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review, share with a friend. If there's anything I could do to help, please reach out. We will see you on the next episode of Beards, Biceps, Beliefs, and Sometimes Bourbon.